in my car. I can't go through that mess up there.
So when you're it's time for the most.
So I'm gonna sit there. I gotta get out there.
Don't sit there. Just sit right there.
Don't sit on it.
Nope. Because you'll be on the
Well, I've noticed that. I'm able to handle myself. When they don't have a kid when I'm an usher, I respect. So you'll be with us?
Yes.
I had to know about it.
It was a The chime of the bell beckons us into a sacred time. Welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Houston, where we widen love's circle by honoring the inherent worth and dignity of all. We extend a heartfelt and inclusive invitation for you to join us in meaningful worship and in service to our world. Buenos días y bienvenidos a esta comunidad donde ampliamos el círculo del amor, honorando el valor y la dignidad inherentes de todos. We greet all those who join us this morning and hope that those watching the live stream will fill out the online attendance form and refer to the many announcements in the online order of service. We ask those here in person to take just a moment to check in by scanning the QR code on the front of your order of service. Then, after the service, seek out and introduce yourself to someone you don't yet know. We have visitors every Sunday and friends. Please make them feel welcome as you always do. This morning, our hymns will be led by Ralph Garza, who is here visiting with us, and all of the words are in your order of service. So if you would please turn to 16 tons, and rise in body or spirit, and lift your song, your voices in song. Thank you.
People say a man is made out of mud. Poor man's made out of muscle and blood, skin and bone. A mind that's weak and a back that's strong. Below 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born one morning with the sun didn't shine. Picked up my shovel and I walked to the mine. I loaded 16 tons, number 9 coal and straw. Boss said, well, bless my soul, you load 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born one morning, it was drizzling rain. Fighting and trouble are my middle name. I was raised in pain, relying on my life. Ain't no high-tone woman make me want to lie. You load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. If you see me coming, better step aside. Live men dead, live men died. One Mr. Vine, the other of steel. If the right one don't get you, then the left one will. You load the 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store.
So I see some folks standing in back. If you've got a spot next to you, you want to raise your hand so that people can come find a spot to sit. This Sunday, we celebrate the labor movement. It's a force that has both improved the lives, our working lives, and our society. Sometimes known as the folks that brought you the weekend, the labor movement has always had a religious dimension. Decades ago, poets such as Ralph Chaplin used to invoke the connection between labor and religion when they asked, "Shall we only hope for heaven when we're dead?" In verse and in song, Chaplin and others tried to answer this question by casting a vision of a better world, one that could be built on earth. When they did, they frequently turned to both the tunes and images of hymns. The words and music were familiar. This made them easy to sing and turned the labor movement in the early 20th century into a singing movement. On the picket line, on the factory floor, and during union meetings, workers sang songs of solidarity and struggle. These songs inspired them to fight for better wages, hours, and conditions. Power can be found when we join our voices together. Collective song can inspire collective action. So we celebrate the dream of Chaplin and others that they described when they wrote words like, "We have a glowing dream of how fair the world were seen, when each can live their life secure and free, when the earth is loaned by labor and there is joy and peace for all. And the hopes that we might someday live in a world where there is joy and peace for all. I say, come friends, let us worship together."
Celebremos compartiendo nuestras vidas, encendiendo esta luz.
Please join me in reading the covenant found in your order of service. Love is the spirit of our congregation. Service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to encourage one another. Thus do we covenant.
Come on, you good workers, good news to you I'll tell, of how the good old Union has come in here to dwell. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? My daddy was a miner, and I'm a miner's son. And I'll stick with the Union till every battle's won. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? They say in Harlan County there are no neutrals there. You'll either be a Union man or a thug for J.H. Blair. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Oh, workers, can you stand it? Oh, tell me how you can. Will you be a lousy scab or will you be a man? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Don't scab for the bosses, don't listen to their lies. Us poor folks haven't got a chance unless we organize. Which side are you on? Which side are
This morning is the first Sunday of our religious exploration program for children and youth. Today we dedicate our teachers and leaders of our religious exploration program. They've answered the call of service and are devoted to ministering to our future, our children and youth. Without them, the teachers, the nurturers, the people who accompany our children and youth as they grow, our religious movement would be greatly diminished. So if you're a religious exploration leader or a teacher, I invite you to stand so that you can be recognized. This morning, we give our blessing to our leaders, our teachers, and our children of our religious exploration program. Now, Kinsey has a story.
Hi. Oh, sorry, Jesus. All right. Sorry. So my name is Kinsey. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the Director of Religious Exploration. And at this time, I'd like to invite all of the children or anyone who would like the best view of the pictures to come sit right up here with me as we read the story. Hello. All right, so today we are talking about fairness for working people, but what about fairness for working sheep? Thank you. Okay, cool. So this is a book called The Sheep Go on Strike. And this is a book by Jean-Francois Dumont. Thank you. One day on the farm, there was a revolution. Everyone knew about it. The sheep were on strike. It was Ernest who came up with the idea. He climbed up on a trough and began to speak. Why are we always the ones who get sheared? Why don't they make cat hair sweaters or duck down socks or donkey hair pants? Everyone in the flock was listening and nodding. Encouraged, Ernest continued with even more conviction. And who is cold come October, when the meadow is covered with ice every morning? The sheep looked at each other. The boldest one replied, we are? And who is it that starts to cough and sneeze because of that? We do. And who has to swallow disgusting medicine and get shots from the vet to get well? We do! And so the strike began. On the farm, opinions were divided. Some thought that sheep were meant to be shorn. That was tradition. That's how it was supposed to be. Some were a little more understanding. They must be freezing without their thick wool. They must be awfully hot and then terribly cold. Another said, I don't think I could stand all that hair on my back. It must itch. Oh, no, not at all, my dear sir. On the contrary, it's very comfortable and very warm. All of the animals shared their opinions, but fortunately, night eventually fell and the farm became quiet again. The next day, a big march was planned on the road that ran from the end of the meadow to the goose pond. The sheep organized to create slogans and establish their marching order, and others watched. The hens said, This is not going to end well, not at all. Meanwhile, the march had begun. They unrolled a big banner and began to chant, "No more shearing, support sheep, solidarity." But then the sheep ignored the shouts and continued with even more resolve. But there were dogs determined to make everyone return to the sheep pen. Uh-oh is right. What happened? Yeah, they all got in a big mess, huh? The next day, the farm was in chaos. While chickens counted the feathers they'd lost in the scuffle, the hens cackled. "Oh, we knew this wouldn't turn out well." As they tended to their bumps and bruises, the animals did not feel very proud of themselves. Never in anyone's memory had there ever been a brawl on the farm. There must be some way to make the sheep happy. But without the sheep's wool, the farm would go bankrupt. After all, we give our eggs every morning. That's it. That's the solution, one cried. With some wool, maybe we could. Shearing day arrived, and strangely, the sheep didn't look all that unhappy. They would go into the barn and come out without their thick layers of wool. Soon, everyone in the flock had been sheared. At nightfall, there was an unusual buzz of activity on the farm. Everyone was busy. One after another, they came and went, and strange clicking sounds came from the henhouse, the hutches, and the stable. Oh, you're gonna like this. Early the next morning, the rooster, worn out by his sleepless nights, still found strength to crow. The sun came up and everyone finally discovered the sheep's stylish new outfits. What did they do with the wool?
They made sweaters.
They made sweaters for the sheep. The end. All right, and it's our first day of classes, so we will meet all back there with your teachers, okay? I'll see you back there.
Enter with me into the space that some call prayer and others name meditation. Open yourself to the wonders and mysteries of the world. Open yourself to compassion and empathy. Take one breath. Take another. Find your center. O Spirit of love and justice, known by many names, God, Allah, the highest to which we humans can aspire, the ground of being that has no name, the spirit that moves between us. We invoke you in this hour. We invoke you so that we might remember a simple truth. Labor is the source of all that we humans create, whether it's through the might of muscle or the dynamism of the mind. All the goods that we have, all the food we eat, all the places we live, all the streets upon which we walk, all the trains or buses in which we travel, all the cars we drive come from labor. This Labor Sunday, we ask that you help us remember this so that we might be blessed with the strength, the clarity, the love to celebrate labor, and in our celebration, recommit to building a more beautiful world. That it might be so, I invite the congregation to say Amen.
Amen.
We pause now together to lift up that which sits heavy and light upon us. Michael Morrison's mother, Jackie Morrison, remains in hospice. We send Michael, Cindy, and their family our love during this difficult time. Patricia Wonderlatch, mother of Brandy Holmes, and Christine Holmes' mother-in-law, died earlier this week. We extend to Brandy, Christian, and their children and their larger family our care and concern as they mark this hard passage. Tex Allen's mother, Vivian Elizabeth Ayers Allen's celebration of life was yesterday. We send Tex and his family our love. Longtime Unitarian Universalist icon and civil rights labor attorney Anne Fagan Ginger died this last week at the age of 100. We celebrate her long life of working for peace and justice and all of the thousands of lives she touched. This time, we also lift up all who were impacted by and continue to be impacted by Hurricane Katrina. 2 years have gone by, and still the damage from the storm lingers. May the healing and rebuilding continue. Today, finally, we celebrate with my mother, Kathy Bosson, who is having a birthday. And we now turn to a practice inspired by African, indigenous, and neo-pagan traditions. We say aloud or bring to mind those we wish to hold in the loving embrace of this religious community. In this great cloud of witness and memory, amid this beloved community, we hear these names and hold them in our hearts. As we do, we extend our empathy to all of the suffering and celebrate all the joy amid and among our community that has gone unnamed. We pause now in awe, wonder of the diversity, beauty, and mystery that is life. And so in the spirit of love, in the spirit of hope, and in the spirit of compassion, I invite you to enter into a time of silent meditation, reflection, or prayer.
In the quiet of this place, let this moment fill with grace. This is my prayer. This is my prayer. May the sense of
Each week, our morning offering is shared with an organization that shares our Unitarian Universalist values, and through which we may live out our principles in the world. This week, that organization is Friends of Phyllis Wheatley High School. Friends of Phyllis Wheatley High School serves Wheatley students experiencing poverty, food insecurity, and sometimes even homelessness. They provide them with essential items such as clothing and personal care items. This morning, we're very lucky to have with us Diane Wolfthal. She is a retired history of art teacher at Rice University, but right now, she is the founder and the CEO of Friends of Phyllis Wheatley High School. Welcome, Diane.
Thank you so much for inviting me to speak to you about Friends of Phyllis Wheatley High School. The last time I came, I focused on our distribution of clothing, food, and personal hygiene items. And these are sorely needed because over 95% of Wheatley students are economically disadvantaged. And just to give you an idea of what that means, to qualify for free lunch, a family of 4 must make less than $41,800. Today, I thought I'd be a little more upbeat and share some good news. I wanted to begin by saying that a couple of years ago, the social worker, who's our primary liaison at the school, noticed that at the end of the month, student attendance dropped, and this was because the family didn't have money to pay for bus passes. Last spring, we met with an assistant to the mayor, and we mentioned this problem, and over the summer, she arranged that any high school student living more than 2 miles away from the school would have free transportation. And that's not only great for attendance and great for the students, but it also frees more of our money since we were buying so many bus passes. I wanted to talk a little bit about some new initiatives that we're doing. This year we plan to focus, it's probably hard to imagine on a day like today, but we want to focus on jackets in the winter. Because when students don't have warm outerwear, again, they don't attend school. So we did offer some jackets with hoods last year, but we're making a major push to enable more students to have winter wear. And we buy them wholesale, and we offer them in a range of colors and sizes. Another program that we're starting this year is a dental van is going to come to the school on a Saturday and offer free dental care. But our organization has, from the beginning, because I was a professor, in part because I was a professor, valued academic and cultural enrichment. And so we always had museum trips from the beginning. And many of the students at Wheatley had never been to a museum before. However, under Mike Miles, he restricted the number of hours that we could take students out of the class, and also restricted it to upper, juniors and seniors. So instead, we're offering more museum trips, but shorter amounts of time. Last year, the students attended a contemporary art exhibition by a Latino artist, and the students had a very lively discussion around one of his paintings that was about a true incident from his life when the KKK had a rally in his town. The students who attended that were the art students. We also donate art supplies to the school. This year we're focusing on the students who take European history, and we're going to go to the Holocaust Museum. Mike Miles also doesn't allow tutors in the schools anymore, which used to be a major program for us. So instead, we're devising a new program during lunchtime for select number of students, where we're going to introduce them to speakers who will present their careers, from a dental hygienist to a pilot to a museum curator, to give them a range of ideas about, actually today's Labor Day, things that you can do for a living. And we're also going to help them apply for college essays, and if they need fees for college applications. Right now, again, because we couldn't help with the tutors, we did give a small monetary award, and we'll continue to do that, to the valedictorian, the salutatorian, and because I'm an art historian, to the best art teacher as determined by the best art student is determined by the art teacher. And we also give college packets to, we couldn't do all the students, but as many as we could afford, to students going on to college. So we give them a sheet and pillow and blanket sets and a shower caddy with personal hygiene items. Mainly though, I want to thank you for your continuing support, and I just want to reassure you that you are making a real difference in students' lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. Those in our sanctuary will find the instructions for giving in the order of service next to the name of the shared offering recipient. And those watching the live stream are invited to go to firstuuhouston.org/donate. Our regular Sunday morning offering collection invites us to weave a tapestry of love and action. We ask you to give generously. An offering will now be gratefully received.
Bury me in my overalls, don't use my gabardine. Bury me in my overalls or in my beat-up jeans. Give my suit to Uncle Jay, he can wear it at my wake, and bury me in my overalls. The undertaker will get my dough, the grave will get my bones, and what is left will have to go for one of those granite stones. But the suit cost me 2 weeks' pay, so let it live another day and bury me in my overalls. The grave, it is a quiet place, there is no labor there, and I will rest more easy in the clothes I always wear. This suit was made for warmer climes, holidays and happy times, so bury me in my overalls. I gave a hand to clear the land and make the cities rise. I helped to bring the harvest in and lay the railroad ties. I boomed about from east to west. It's time I had a little rest, so bury me in my overalls. And when I get to heaven where they tally work and sin, they'll open working stiff like you, we know, has had his share of hell below. So come to glory in your overall.
From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
Please join me with the words to dedicate our offering found in your order of service. To the work of this church, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action, we dedicate our lives, and these are our offerings.
The first reading is a poem by Rodolfo Corky Gonzalez. He was an activist in the 60s and 70s, and the beginning of the poem is in Spanish, but the rest is in English. So I just didn't want to confuse you. Yo soy Joaquín, perdido en un mundo de confusión, atrapado en el remolino de una sociedad gringa. Confused by the rules, scorned by attitudes, suppressed by manipulation, and destroyed by modern society. My fathers have lost the economic battle and won the struggle of cultural revival. And now, I must choose between the paradox of victory of the spirit despite physical hunger, or to exist in the grasp of American social neurosis, sterilization of the soul, and a full stomach. Yes, I have come a long way to nowhere, unwillingly dragged by that monstrous, technical, industrial giant called progress and Anglo success. I look at myself, I watch my brothers, I shed tears of sorrow, I sow seeds of hate. I withdraw to the safety within the circle of life, my own people.
Hello, everyone. I'm Galen, member here, and I will be providing the first reflection. When I think about the dignity of work, I think about the flea market where I worked years ago. I want to describe it to those who haven't been. The flea market is full of color, sound, and movement of my community. People sell everything: fresh fruit, Mexican, Honduran, and Salvadorian food, clothing, tools, and even religious items. But this isn't just a place to shop. It's also a place where many people have created their own way forward. I know this because I saw it and I lived it. Many of the vendors there cannot work in a traditional job because of their immigration status. And I worked there myself starting at 13 years old because of my age. Instead of giving up, people find their way. They create their own jobs, their own businesses. They wake up early, set up their tables and tents, greet their customers with a smile, and work in the heat and in the rain. In that market, you can see the creativity, resilience, and the work ethic that is often invisible to the larger world. And yet it is what keeps our communities alive. And because I was part of that world, I also carry that same work ethic with me. The labor movement is not only about unions and factories. It is also about these places where people use their hands, their voices, and their ingenuity to sustain themselves and their families, often without recognition or protection. That's the very reason why we have this holiday. And in Texas history, there is a name that reminds us of these struggles for dignity and justice have existed for generations. Emma Tenuyuka. Her words and her courage still speak to us today. Thank you.
Please refer to your order of service and rise in body or spirit as we sing together.
Good afternoon. My name is Carlos Rodriguez, and I'm here to give a reflection on what Labor Day means to me. Since first, I'm very honored and privileged to have gotten the education I've received here in the city of Houston. And thanks to it, I've been able to serve in different areas of work. I've served after school care, I've served in mental health, I've served survivors of domestic violence, I've served in public education, I've served as a social service agent. A lot of my work has been in social service. And reflecting on it today, I'm not only honored but lucky enough to have been able to serve in this way. Very privileged, I would say too. I don't have to worry in the forefront about legality, so I can focus in more on my education, and that's a privilege, as well as other things, male privilege too. And with this, I guess I hold in mind the knowledge that the places I've served have been very beneficial for the people that I've been able to help. An agency that I really is close to home and close to my heart, the Houston Area Women's Center. I served there for about a year and 10 months. I was able to help in tremendous ways that are not just typical. There was a child born in the shelter, and I was able to support the mother in that process. And honestly, it's something that came out of the blue. I didn't expect to help deliver a baby that day. But yet, honestly, I was needed there. And I guess I gotta thank God, to be honest, for making me able to be present and a pillar of support for people along the way. The last year I served as a high school teacher at Cesar Chavez High School, and I was very lucky and fortunate enough to serve there for students. Man, I'm remembering a lot about them this week. All the little compassionate and thankful gratefulness they've shared with me, letters, moments of just music and sharing. And honestly, I'm like I said, I'm very lucky, and the work that I've done is very meaningful to me. And for this Labor Day, this is my reflection stating that not only do I have the privilege but the honor to be able to serve in different pockets of the city of Houston, and I can't be any more grateful for that. So thank you for this city, and thank you for this church for giving me a voice to speak and share that a little bit here today. And hopefully moving forward, who knows, maybe I'll go into technology. That's really what I want to do next. So we'll see where it goes. But either way, thank you for being here.
The second reading is from an oral history interview with Emma Tenayuka, conducted by Jerry Pollo on February 21st in 1987. I had become very interested in the labor movement, the salvation of all those who were hungry, and there were many. There were laundry workers who tried to organize. There was cement workers. There were petitions. Whatever I could help and whatever I could do. There was quite a mass basis here at that time. And some of those workers who were at that time, and some of those workers who were in the strike and went with it. Some of them went down to organize the onion workers. They desegregated a theater. They asked for classes at school, classes at night to learn English, and so forth. The cigar strikers were among the first. They were women. It's the women who have led. And I just have a feeling, a very strong feeling, that if ever this world is civilized, that it would be more the work of the women. Here in San Antonio, the powers that be had fought labor. So when you went out to meet those powers, then you had to have guts. Any effort of the Mexican workers to organize was met with brutal force from the very beginning. Here ends the second reading.
Our state government is opposed to the labor movement. The governor is on record for opposing water breaks for construction workers during the heat of the summer. The federal government is no better. Just this week, the president stripped hundreds of thousands of workers of their right to union representation. Under such conditions, holding a service celebrating union music and the contributions of working people becomes a small act of resistance. Each week we talk about living amid the great cloud of witness and memory. At a time when the president and the governor have both launched wars on the real history of this country, it becomes ever more important to lift up those who they would erase from that cloud of witness and memory. There's no question that their attempts to remove truth from classrooms and museums have a clear purpose. They're trying to convince us that the good things in life are gifts, are from the powerful. The ability to support our families, the right to vote, the end of slavery, all things that ordinary people have struggled to win at great cost, over the last centuries are somehow cast as generosity, acts of generosity from the most powerful. We're meant to forget that the wealth of this world is not the product of the labor of the majority of the people of the world. It is instead portrayed as something that the powerful have produced on their own. We celebrate a different reality on Labor Day. Remember that the good things in life are not free. They are things that many of our ancestors, in blood or in spirit, fought and even died for. For my part, I always take time on Labor Day to remember that one of the reasons my brother and I had a good life growing up was because my mother was very active in her labor union. For a lot of people, the only reason why they have good health care or make a decent wage is because they belong to a union or are part of a union family. This Labor Day, with his assault on unions, the president is trying to get us to forget that reality. He does not want us to remember the words of Frederick Douglass: "Power concedes nothing without demand." Unions have long been the principal way that working people have come together to make demands upon their employers. Providing a place for this truth and other truths that the president and the governor want to erase can continue to be, is one of the things that it means to live in a great cloud of witness and memory. We preserve the stories of how people actually won their rights. Labor Day is a day for preserving those stories. What stories do you know about the labor movement in Texas? Do you know the name Emma Tenayuka? Want to tell you a little bit about her. She's someone we should remember. She was born in San Antonio in 1916. Her grandparents were revolutionaries. She was devoted to what she called the salvation of all of those who are hungry. In the 1930s, she organized Mexican Americans and Mexican immigrants. It was a dangerous choice. Made the people who ran the city of San Antonio and owned the factories there pretty angry. But she tried anyway. In Texas history, she is remembered for organizing the first pecan shellers union. The year was 1938. Pecan shellers in San Antonio had been trying to organize for years. The conditions they worked under were terrible. They could labor day and night and still not get enough money to support their families. Conditions were awful, and diseases like tuberculosis were rampant throughout the factories. A group of pecan shellers went to Emma and asked her to help them build their union. She had a reputation for being a good organizer already. She soon improved it by giving powerful speeches, by saying things like she was for the salvation of those who are hungry, and that salvation would come from unions and not from the factory owners. Such words upset those in power. She was arrested and jailed. But then the pecan workers went on strike. And after 38 days, they won better working conditions and wages. A lot of people point to that strike as an important moment for building political power for Latinos and people of Mexican descent here in San Antonio and in Texas. Emma's life after the strike was not easy. She was blacklisted. She could not find work in San Antonio. She moved to Houston for a while. Eventually, she moved to California and became a teacher. For a long time, she was forgotten. But she never stopped believing in the salvation of the hungry. And at the end of her life, her contributions started to be recognized. Right now, the president is trying to erase people like Emma Tenayuka from history under the guise that they are part of critical race theory or that celebrating them makes white people feel uncomfortable. This Labor Day, it's important that we remember Emma and lift up others like her. They can inspire us and future generations. They can help us remember that power concedes nothing without demand. So today we say, Emma Tenayuka Presente.
we invite you to look in your order of service again for the words to "There's power in a union." Please rise in body or spirit, get your muscles moving so you can warm up a little bit because I'm freezing.
Would you have freedom from wage slavery? Then join in the grand industrial band. Would you from misery and hunger be free? Then come do your share like a man. There is power in a band of working men when they stand hand in hand. That's a power that must rule in every land. One industrial union grand. Would you have mansions of gold in the sky and live in a shack away in the back? Would you have wings up in heaven to fly and starve here with rags on your back? There's power in a band of working men when they stand hand in hand. That's a power that must rule in every land. One industrial union grand. If you had enough of the blood of the Lamb, then join in the grand industrial band. If for a change you would have eggs and ham, then come do your part like a man. There is power in a band of working men when they stand hand in hand. That's a power that must rule in every land. One industrial union grand. If you like sluggers to beat up your head, then don't organize. All unions despise. If you want nothing before you are dead, shake hands with your boss and look wise. There is power in a band of working men when they stand hand in hand. That's a power that must rule in every land. One industrial union grand. Oh, come all ye workers from every land, come join in the grand industrial band. Then we our share of this earth shall demand. Come on, do your share like a man. There is power in a band of working men when they stand hand in hand. That's a power that must rule in every land. One industrial union grand. One industrial union grand.
Please join me in reading the words to extinguish the chalice found in the order of service. We extinguish the flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
For our benediction, let's give a round of applause to our guest musician, Ralph Gardner. And now let us leave this place inspired by the power that people can have when we come together to build the world we dream about. We are more powerful together than we are when we are on our own. Let us remember that and live into this message. Go in peace, go in love, may our lives be a blessing. Amen.
Amen.